Good morning, I'm Gretchen Hall. We're coming in live this Tuesday, the 9th day of September, bringing you Morning Matters because your mornings matter. Let's get to the stories that matter today. Barely 6 weeks into the 20th Congress, a sudden Senate coup has reinstated Vicente Tito Soto as Senate President, ousting Senator Cheese Escudero. This dramatic power shift has triggered a complete reversal of other key leadership positions within the chamber. Contractors Sara and Curly Descaya have named officials from Congress and the DPWH, accusing them of extorting kickbacks as a condition for greenlighting public works projects. And the International Criminal Court will not proceed with the September 23 confirmation of charges hearing against former President Rodrigo Duterte. Pretrial Chamber 1 approved a delay in a September 8 ruling, citing a defense request that he is unfit to stand trial. Welcome to our program, Morning Matters, where we talk about the issues you need to know for the rest of your day. And first on the agenda, a major shakeup in the Senate. Senate President Cheese Escudero is out and Senator Tito Soto is back as Senate President. And a swift change in leadership unfolded on Monday, setting off a wave of changes in key committee posts. Here is the report.
As the Senate session resumed on Monday afternoon, a swift, quiet, yet dramatic political shift unfolded.
I would like to move to declare the position of the Senate President as vacant, Mr. President.
Without hesitation, in the very first minute of session, Senator Mig Zubiri moved to declare the post of Senate President vacant. No one objected.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Chair will suspend session.
Senate President Cheese Escudero immediately stepped down. Zubiri then nominated former Senate President Tito Soto to once again lead the chamber.
As Senate President, he always led with fairness and transparency. With Senator Soto as Senate President, the Senate is in good hands.
Senator Lauren Legarda seconded the nomination. Soto went up the rostrum, took his oath, and it was Escudero himself who administered it. The two even embraced afterward.
I, Vicente C. Soto III, having been elected to the position of Senate President, that I will well and faithfully discharge, to the best of my ability, the duties of my present position, so help me God.
Congratulations, citizen.
Thank you, sir.
It wasn't just Soto who assumed new leadership. Some members of the minority suddenly found themselves in the majority. Senator Ping Lacson was sworn in as Senate President pro tempore, replacing Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Zubiri, meanwhile, took over a majority leader, replacing Senator Joel Villanueva. In an ambush interview, Soto confirmed that 15 senators backed him.
This Senate will remain cooperative, but independent, balanced, transparent, and sincere.
No direct explanation was given as to why Escudero was ousted. But in Soto's speech, the hint was clear: corruption.
Our people are enraged of corruption. The failed flood control projects that's supposed to protect the lives, livelihood, and properties of our countrymen, the dilapidated classrooms for our students.
Escudero, however, held no grudge.
I serve at the pleasure, Mr. President, of the majority, and understand and respect the decision of the majority of my colleagues. I hold no grudges. I hold no ill feelings. I congratulate Senator Vicente Tito Soto III on his election as Senate President.
Even after losing the leadership, Escudero still took pride in the Blue Ribbon Committee's investigations under his watch, pointing to high-profile hearings that unmask alleged corruption.
Sa ilalim po ng aking panunungkulan at sa pangunguna ni Congressman Rodante Marcoleta, may ilang bagay po tayong nakamit at nagawa. Nakapagsalita na ng buong kaninang umaga si Congressman Toby Chanco at nabanggit lahat ng nais niyang sabihin hindi nasabi sa kabilang kamera. Nasabi na rin po, Ginoong Pangulo, ang the name that cannot be mentioned, ang pangalan ni Speaker Martin Romualdez at Congressman Zaldico sa pamamagitan ng paghihiring.
Senators reacted to the leadership change in the chamber, with some welcoming the transition, while others admitted they were surprised. Senator Risa Ontiveros said she was pleased to be in the majority. She added that more details on changes in the committee chairmanships will be released this week. On the other hand, Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Amy Marcos, as well as other members of the so-called Duterte bloc, said they were left in the dark. For his part, Senator J.V. Ejercito said he was the last among the 15 senators to sign in support of Soto. Meanwhile, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano confirmed he will now be part of the minority.
Natin maging bahagi ng isang mas malaking grupo ng mga magkakasamang senador na ganun din naniniwala sa liderato niya. At yung magandang samahan namin ay solid lalo na sa mga issues.
Wala namang kumausap, wala namang nagkumbinse. Parang nalito nga kami ni Bato, nalito rin kami ni Bongo. Ano ba nangyayari? Pati si Senator Robin, patakbo yata kay SP Cheese. Nagkakalitohan bakit yung Duterte block na out kami.
Embattled contractors Sara and Curly Discaya have dropped a bombshell, naming lawmakers and DPWH officials who allegedly demanded kickbacks for project approvals. Merimon Reyes has the details.
Contractors Sara and Curly Discaya now want to turn state witness in the ongoing investigation into alleged corruption involving funds for flood control projects. At the Senate Blue Ribbon hearing, the couple named several politicians who they claimed either asked for or received kickbacks from them. First on the Discaya's list is Pasig Lone District Congressman Roman Romulo. Romulo is an ally of Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto, who defeated Sara, who herself ran for mayor in the last elections. The Discayas also named Quezon City Representative Arjo Atayde and Marikina Representative Marcy Teodoro, even one undersecretary. Also named were Congressman Nicanor Briones from AGA Party List, Eliandro Jesus Madrona of Romblon, Leo Di Tariela of Occidental Mindoro, and a former lawmaker from San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. The list also included congressmen from Quezon Province, Caloocan, and Quezon City, as well as former congressmen. Officials from the Department of Public Works and Highways were also implicated, including Bulacan District Engineer Henry Alcantara, who has since been sacked for ghost projects in the province. According to Curly Discaya, the lawmakers and officials often mention that at least 25% of the kickbacks go to Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. The Discaya couple also claimed the money was to ensure their companies got the contracts. Payments, they added, were made in cash.
Dapat tanggapin namin ang realidad na dapat kaming magbayad sa mga pambabatas kung gusto po namin magpatuloy na magkaroon ng project sa gobyerno. Kung hindi, binabala nila na matatanggal na sa listahan ang kumpanya namin at hindi na makakakuha ng kahit anong proyekto. Hindi namin ginusto kailanman na mapasama sa ganitong sistema, pero kailangan namin magpatuloy para sa pamilya at mga empleyado namin.
Implicated lawmakers were quick to dispel the Discayas' allegations. In a statement, House Speaker Martin Romualdez denied having received any commission or kickback from the couple. He also vowed to make those who committed abuses or those who used his name answerable, no matter who they are. Romualdez goes on to say, "I have never and I will never accept a bribe from anybody." For her part, former San Jose del Monte Bulacan representative and now Mayor Florida Robes maintained her district has no ghost projects and their structures are world-class. Marikina City Representative Marcy Teodoro calls his inclusion in the list a demolition job.
Noong isang linggo na pinondohan pa, ako nakikita ko.
Quezon City 1st District Representative Arjo Atayde also denied having dealt with the Discayas nor having used his position for personal gain. He is also seeking legal remedies to clear his name. Romblon Representative Eliandro Jesus Madrona also denied the having any project with the Discayas. It was the same denial for Occidental Mindoro Representative Leo Di Tariela. Quezon City 5th District Representative Patrick Michael Vargas is also mulling filing charges against the Discayas, who he said do not even have projects in his district. Quezon City 6th District Representative Maria Victoria Copilar says she may file label cases on the allegation against her. Pasig City Representative Roman Romulo said he was surprised by the Discayas' accusations.
Hindi rin po totoo yun. Sa totoo po, kahit unang-una ko pa lang na nanungkulan bilang mambabatas, hindi po ako nakikialam sa bidding sa DPWH.
Asked whether they have any proof of the payouts, the Discayas also said that they carefully recorded all transactions in vouchers and ledgers showing the amounts, dates, and recipients which they are willing to submit to the Blue Ribbon Committee. The only issue is that they don't have signatures from any of the people they accused.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez has denied allegations made by contractors Curly and Sara Vizcaya, linking him to kickbacks from flood control projects. Romualdez said that the claims were false and nothing more than name-dropping. He warned that anyone using his name without permission must face legal consequences. Meanwhile, Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldi Co also denied the allegations. Co dismissed the accusations as hearsay and politically motivated. He stressed that the 2025 General Appropriations Act underwent proper certification and approval from both chambers of Congress. The Bureau of Customs said it has found discrepancies in documents submitted by couple Curly and Sara Vizcaya regarding the luxury vehicles they surrendered. Officials reported that at least 8 of the 28 cars had no entry records. Certificates of payment to prove proper taxes and duties were also missing for several units. The Vizcayas earlier claimed they were buyers in good faith, saying they had purchased the vehicles from authorized local dealers.
There are missing entries, no? Meron tayong mga ganong findings. Meron tayong mga documents na hindi natin nakikita sa ating system. That really creates a strong presumption that the goods were unlawfully imported.
And coming up, Congressman Toby Chanco accuses Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldi Co of overseeing the insertions of up to 13.8 billion in the 2025 national budget. Let's discuss this with Congressman Toby himself when Morning Matters returns after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. The International Criminal Court has postponed the confirmation of charges hearing against former President Rodrigo Duterte, pending a ruling on his defense team's request that he is unfit to stand trial. Here is a report.
The International Criminal Court has deferred the start of the confirmation of charges hearing against former President Rodrigo Duterte, which was originally set for September 23. In a ruling issued September 8, Pre-Trial Chamber 1 granted a postponement following a request from Duterte's defense team, which argued he was unfit to stand trial. The chamber said the delay would provide time to resolve the plea and related issues before setting a new hearing date. The confirmation hearing is meant to establish whether evidence is sufficient to pursue a trial before a separate chamber. Meanwhile, former Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office General Manager and drug war whistleblower Rina Garma returned to the Philippines last Saturday. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla confirmed that Garma has agreed to testify against Duterte at the ICC. She is now in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to meet with the ICC representatives.
Our working relationship with the ICC involves witness protection. And the best way to protect her is actually for the ICC to meet her abroad. And let's face it, uniformed personnel ang kalaban.
Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV noted that Garma will appear at the actual trial, not at the confirmation of charges hearing. Meanwhile, Malacanang reminded the public that Garma has not yet been cleared in a frustrated murder case related to the killing of former PCSO Board Secretary Wesley Barayuga on July 20.
Lumalabas sa ngayon sa ating pagkakaalam ay wala pa tong warrant of arrest. Saka-monitor po kung saan siya pupunta at kapag ka po nagkataon na dumating yung pagkakataon na mayroong warrant of arrest at may kaso po siya, siya ay matuturing na isang pugante.
Families of drug war victims welcomed Garma's cooperation with the ICC case.
Si Rina Garma kasi ang nakapagdikit kay Duterte mismo doon sa plano na gawing nationwide ang Davao Death Squad style killings. At siya ang nagsabi na bago nung kanyang termino bilang presidente ay pinaghandaan ang paano ba ang patayan. Paano ba ang naging kalakaran at ito, crucial, paano pala ba ang reward system sa mga pulis o malamang sa mga death squad members.
The House Infrastructure Committee will resume its inquiry today into questionable flood control projects. And for that, we now go live with mobile journal Arles de los Santos, who is reporting to us. Arles, kamusta dyan? And who are invited to today's Infracom hearing?
Magandang umaga, Gretchen. No? Sa ilang minuto na nga lamang ay hinihintay natin ang pagsisimula ng ikalawang Infrastructure Committee hearing dito sa Kamara, kung saan inaasahan natin ang pagdating una ng 5 pang mga kontraktor na kasama sa 16 na una nang inimbita ng Kamara para sa investigasyon ng mga maanumalyang flood control projects sa Bulacan at sa iba't iba pang mga bahagi ng bansa. Ngayong araw din ay inaasahan natin na kung darating man si Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong at si Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto. Matatandaan kasi natin na nitong mga nakaraang araw sa kanilang mga pahayag ay nagkaroon sila ng kumpirmasyon at pagkabukas na kung magkakaroon man ng imbitasyon ng Kamara para tumestigo nga dito sa mga maanumalyang flood control projects ay bukas naman sila. Pero yun nga, makikita natin yung iba't ibang mga dynamic na nangyayari nitong mga nakaraang araw, pero asahan natin na mapagbibigyan ito ng linaw ngayong araw na ito.
Yung 5 contractor list na nabanggit mo, meron ka bang detalye kung sino-sino yung mga yon?
Una na dyan, Gretchen, yung 2 kumpanya ng mga diskaya na St. Timothy at yung Alpha and Omega, kung hindi tayo nagkakamali. Yun nga ay nang nakaraang hearing, kung matatandaan natin, ay kasama sa mga pinasabihan ng Kamara dahil syempre marapat daw na kanilang sagutin at bigyang paglilinaw ang ilang mga tanong ng Kamara patungkol nga sa kanilang mga programa dito sa ating bansa.
Okay. Bukod doon, sa mga naimbitahan sa araw na ito, kasi nung huling hearing kasi, naghamon sila Representative Shell Jokno na magkaroon ng disclosure of mga business interest, pecuniary interest. Meron bang tayong inaasahan sa parting yon na magkakaroon muna ng disclosure itong mga kongresista bago simulan ang hearing?
Matatandaan natin, Gretchen, na noong September 2, nung unang araw ng Infracom Committee hearing, ay kasama nga yan sa mga unang binanggit ni Akbayan Representative Shell Jokno ang full disclosure para maiwasan daw ang conflict of interest. Ang natatandaan natin ay 5 araw lamang ang binigay sa mga miyembro ng Tri-Committee para bigyang ang kumpirmasyon na sila ay walang conflict of interest sa isasagawang investigasyon nito. Pero sa mga nagdaang araw, ang nakita pa lamang natin na nagpasa nito ay ang mula sa Akbayan, pero mamaya ay titignan natin kung ilan na nga ba ang nakapagsumite ng full disclosure bago mag-proceed pa sa iba pang mga katanungan dito sa mga flood control projects.
Okay, bilang panghuli, kahapon nagkaroon ng leadership changes sa Senado. Dito naman sa Kamara, meron bang naririnig dyan na maaaring maging pagbabago ngayong araw?
Kahapon, Gretchen, kasunod ng naging kudeta nga na tinatawag sa Senado, ay inasahan kung magkakaroon din ba ng pagbabago sa Kamara dahil nga sa mga naging pahayag ng mga diskaya sa Senado na iniuugnay itong si House Speaker Martin Romualdez sa mga anomalya at mga bulungan at mga, syempre, kontsabahan daw sa mga palitan ng mga pera dito sa flood control programs. Kasama nga yan actually pati si Representative Saldico, pero so far wala namang nangyaring ganoon. May ilang umaasa na ganoon ang mangyayari at may mga bulong-bulungan, pero so far pati sa mga pahayag ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez ay wala namang pagbabago. Actually, nag-send pa nga siya ng regards at pagbati sa bagong Senate President na si Tito Soto.
Ay, mukhang marami tayong aabangan sa hearing ngayong araw. Dadalo yung 5 contractor na nabanggit mo. Isa dyan yung St. Timothy and Alpha and Omega. At kasama na dyan yung 2 mayor na napaka-vocal sa issue na ito, si Mayor Benjamin Magalong at si Mayor Vico Soto. Aabangan natin yan, yung hearing na yan. Magsisimula na ng 9 o'clock. Tama ba?
Tama, Gretchen.
Alright. Okay, maraming salamat sa paunang balita mula dyan sa House of Representatives. We have Arles de los Santos, Mobile Journal, reporting live from the Batasang Pambansa. Moving on over to the Senate, Congressman Toby Chanco tags his fellow Solon Zaldi Co in at least 13.8 billion pesos in insertions for flood control projects. Chanco has long been calling for Co, the former appropriations chairperson, to answer questions hounding the 2025 budget. Chanco also said he has spoken to the other congressmen under which these insertions appeared, and they said they did not ask for extra funds. Ako Bicol Representative Alfredo Garbin Jr. earlier confirmed that Co is in the United States for medical treatment since July. And joining us this morning to answer some questions, we have Navota's Representative Toby Chanco, who recently accused Ako Bicol Representative Zaldi Co of pushing billions worth of budget insertions. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Welcome back to Morning Matters.
Yes, welcome, Gretchen. Welcome. Hi, good morning. Thank you. Sorry.
Good morning. I'm sure it has been a busy day. You've had to get your rest now. But Senator Cheese Escudero, in his exit speech as Senate President, highlighted that one of his achievements was being able to give you the floor and the space to share your findings. It was a little bit unusual, to be honest, kasi syempre congressman po kayo, pero dito kayo sa Senado nagsalita. Did you feel that you were not at liberty to share all of these things in the House? And did you have to ask permission from the Speaker to do what you did yesterday?
No. Okay, number one, di ba kitang-kita naman sa video noon na gusto kong ipakita yung USB na kasi baka sabihin lang nag-invento lang ako ng numero para pakita ko na talagang detalye yon. At hindi nila ako pinayagan. And then, nang nakita ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and they were interested to know kung ano yung laman ng USB, inimbitahan po ako. So ako naman punta. Hindi ko naman kailangan magpaalam sa kahit sino man para magpunta sa isang imbitasyon, di ba po?
Oo, pero anong naramdaman ho ninyo dun sa takbo ng mga hearings sa Kongreso? parang meron po bang sadyang pag-iwas dito sa mga budget insertions at sa usaping budget?
Yes, di ba kung makikita mo, sabi nila there will be no sacred cows. Pero hindi naman kami pwede summon na isang congressman na mag-testify o maging witness o maging resource person kung ayaw niya. So ibig sabihin, how can there be no sacred cows kung ang congressman ay hindi pwedeng imbestigahan? So ibig sabihin, exempted yung congressman, di ba po?
Okay. At yun na nga po, no, dahil nga rin dun sa mga naging usapin, sabi rin ni Senate President Chis Escudero ay one of his achievements is nasabi na yung pangalan ng the name that must not be mentioned, referring to Speaker Martin and Congressman Zaldi. In your opinion, with the revelations that we are seeing, not just from you, but also from the contractors, do you think that there is a possibility that the two could be tagged as the most guilty?
No, let us wait for let us not preempt the totoo ba na pupunta inimbitahan si Mayor Magalong at si Mayor Vico mamaya? Is it
Tama
true?
ho, mukhang pupunta po sila sa House hearing, sa Infracom hearing.
Okay, di pakinggan po natin yung testimony ng dalawa. Yun na siguro pinaka mabuti kasi di ba, isipin mo naman, there are so many absurd accusations against me. Sabi, kaya ko lang daw ginawa ito dahil gusto ko mag-speaker. Si Governor Bones Dolor nakatabi ko, gusto ba mag-speaker nun? Governor, paano na mag-speaker yun? Governor nga yun. Ibig sabihin, ginawa niya rin yung sinabi niya dahil gusto niyang maging speaker. And yung sa kanya, mas direkta. Sinasabi niya na lahat ng mga palpak na proyekto, SunWest lang ang gumawa na dating kay Sandy ko na supposedly nag-divest siya. Mas direct pa nga yung sinasabi ni Gov. Bones Dolor. Ibig sabihin, gusto ba nun ng leadership position sa House? Wala naman yatang connection yun.
Pero kayo na rin po nagsabi, no, parang let's not spare the lawmakers or politicians involved here at wag lang yung DPWH yung kumbaga parang pinag-uusapan dito.
Yes.
Pero so paano po kaya natin what is the level of culpability here ng ating mga congressmen? Kasi kayo po ang nag-focus dun sa mga insertions, ano po yan? Kasi I'm trying to figure out who is the most guilty, kasi itong mga contractor nag-a-apply as state witness. So what are your thoughts on that?
Siyempre for me, no, my opinion, I'm not a lawyer but it's my opinion, kung sino yung pinakamalaking porsyento nakuha. Di ba, sinasabi ni Mayor Magalong, ang pinakamalaking porsyento nakuha is the Committee on Operations, di ba? Di ba, it's obviously if when money is lost, ang most guilty is the one who got the most money. Di ba po? Ganun po yun.
And the one who has the most money?
Sabi ni Mayor Magalong, I saw his presentation na nag-press con yata siya, meron siyang graph, nakasulat 20% Committee on Appropriations.
Committee on Appropriations. Okay, when it comes to Congressman Zaldi Co, pwede niyo po bang ipaliwanag sa amin ano yung naging proseso po ninyo na nahanap niyo po itong mga insertions na ito? I understand isa-isa niyo pong hinimay kasi kayo rin po meron din po kayong request na you mentioned about 1.1 to 1.2 billion pero ang pumasok na request is 529. How did you get led to the figures?
Okay, ganito yan. Sorry, I have to be in a rush now kasi I have another interview. Ganito po yan. Sinasabi nila, I inserted 529. Mali po yan. The only one who can insert is a member of the BICAM. I was never a member of the BICAM. So, admittedly, what I always do is to try. Sinusubukan ko naman lagi, mas madaming pondo dalhin sa nabotas. Mas madaming pondo madalas sa nabotas, mas matutulungan ko yung constituents. Wala namang congressman na nagsasabi na, ay, hindi po kami magdadala ng pondo dito. Lahat ng congressman, sasabihin sa kanyang constituents, susubukan namin magdala mas maraming pondo dito sa ating lugar. So, ang ginawa ko, naghingi ako ng additional na 1.269 billion. Ang na-approve ng BICAM is 529 million. So, ibig sabihin, aprobado ng BICAM yung 529 million. Ako po ang nag-request nun. Di ba po? And you have to understand, Gretchen, bakit ba yung nabot, mas nakakapagtaka kung nabotas ako at hindi ako mag-request ng flood control projects, or mas nakakapagtaka kung na-vote as representative ako na hindi pinakamalaking pondo ang hinihingi ko for flood control. Kayo naman, tagal nyo na sa news, di ba? We are very flood prone. Lagi kami may problema sa baha. Ang sabi ng ibang tao, ba't hindi ma-resolve bahan ng kompleto? Because nga unti-unti lang ang paghingi ng pondo. Alam mo naman kung hindi ka malapit sa administrasyon, hindi ka makahingi. This is my fifth term in Congress. Yung first 3 terms ko, hindi po ako kampi ng administrasyon. Paano ako makakakuha? Imagine, my fourth term, yan na nga, yung example ng 2025 budget, perceive, isip nila, malapit ako sa administrasyon, I request for 1.269 for my constituents, validated by DPWH, and ang nakuha ko lang is 529, di ba? 1.269 pala ang request, nakuha lang for Navotas is 529. And if I can show you a map of Navotas, titignan mo, paligid kami, puro tubig, ilog. We have 15 kilometers of land facing the water. Di ba? And ang pinakamahalaga, pinakita ko kahapon sa presentation ko, kung yung ibang mga flood control projects may problema, pinakita ko na doon sa amin yung dike, binabangga ng mga barko, pag nasadsad yung barko kasi open yung Manila Bay, hindi po tumutumba yung mga dike namin.
Oo, pero sabi nga ni Congressman Garbin, we also had him on the show, yung mga nakakuha ng kontrata ay yung St. Timothy Construction Corporation and Sims Construction Trading. Oo.
Yes, I have to sorry. Okay, number 1, hindi ako nakikialam sa kahit anong bid. Number 2, hindi ko tinatanong yung DE kung sino ang nanalo. Number 3, ngayon lang ako nagtanong nung lumabas yung top 15 kung meron bang kontrata itong top 15 sa Navotas. Nalaman ko meron. Number 4, tinanong ko sa DE kung kamusta yung mga proyekto ng mga to. So maaaring sa ibang lugar may problema sila. Sa Navotas, sabi ng DE, wala. Number 5, I was very transparent. Pinakita ko kahapon sa Senate yung projects nung St. Timothy at nung Sims, no? Number 6, sinasabi niya yung kontrata ng mga ito is part of the 529 na nadagdag sa budget. Hindi po totoong part of the 529. Nung hinanap ko yung kontrata nito, nahandong pala sa original NEP. So, puro mga kasinungalingan, nalilito na sila humanap ng kasinungalingan para lang pagtakpan si Congressman Saldico. So, pinakita ko yung accomplishment nun. So, posibleng may problema sila sa ibang lugar. But sa Navotas, ano magagawa ko? Kasalanan ko ba na wala silang problema doon sa Navotas?
Okay, dahil po ito po ay na-approve yung 529, ibig sabihin yung pangalan niyo po ang nakalagay doon sa records as the proponent of the 529.
Sa records, ang proponent is ako at ang congressional district is Navotas. Di ba? Kaya sabi ko, yun nga, sigurado ako na tama yung 13 point something billion na si Saldico ang proponent at tinatanggi naman ng mga congressman na kung saan napunta sa kanila na sila ang humingi nun. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, pinaradahan o sinagasaan sila ng proyekto.
Okay. Gaya po ninyo, yung mga tinag din po ng mga diskaya dun sa kanilang mahabang listahan na kongresista at mga lawmakers, yun din po, parang sinabi rin po nila na they've never dealt with the Diskaya couple, hindi sila nakikialam sa DPWH projects, at kahit si Speaker mismo sinasabi, ginagamit lang yung pangalan po niya. Paano po kaya namin malalaman dito? I mean, yung level of, how do we establish the level of complicity of the congressmen here kung yung budget nila ay talagang, kumbaga, pinagkukunan nila o talagang, yun nga, na nasagasaan sila without them knowing. What data could people use to be able to parse through all of these accusations and actually have solid evidence?
Gretchen, I'm not in a position to know the circumstances of each of those congressmen, no? Pero ang sinasabi ko, marami pa kaming mga kasama. Gretchen, sorry, tinatawagan na ako sa kabila. May nasagutan ako. I'm not in a position to know the personal circumstances. Can you please allow me to be excused, Gretchen?
Sige, wala akong problema. Pero thank you so much for answering our
Alam
questions.
ko na late ako sa inyo, hindi ako nagising on time. Pasensya na.
Okay. Medyo bitin nga lang, no? We hope to have you again next time. But in the meantime, maraming salamat po. We have Congressman Toby Chanco. Of course, he's fresh from that Senate hearing on flood control projects yesterday, talking about all the accounts that he saw, the budget insertions, tagging, of course, the former House Appropriations Chair, Congressman Zaldico. All right, maraming salamat, Congressman Toby. In the meantime, stay tuned. We'll just take a short break. Morning Matters will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. To provide insights into yesterday's Senate shakeup, we are joined this morning, this time, by Professor Dennis Coronacion, Chair of the UST Political Science Department. Magandang umaga sa'yo.
Magandang umaga, Gretchen. Magandang umaga rin sa inyong mga taga-subaybay.
Okay, Professor, nakita naman natin yung nangyaring kudeta kahapon sa Senado. Medyo nakakagulat nga, no? Kung gaano kabilis nangyari yun. Anong pagbasa mo dito sa nangyaring leadership shakeup?
Well, nakakagulat nga, no? Kasi we thought that the leadership in the Senate has already been settled since a month ago, ano? Pero ito pala, napaka-fluid talaga ng mga political alignments sa loob ng Senado. Now, very little data is provided doon sa nangyari kahapon. It's just that kung papakinggan mo yung interview with Senate President Tito Soto, it seems that the initiative came from the minority bloc. Sabi niya, ang tanungin mo yung mga apat ko kasama kasi sila yung nag-initiate niyan. So tapos of course they got the support of the other senators, obviously. Pero kung titingnan mo yung composition, these are the senators who formerly belonged to the majority bloc pero lumipat ng side, ano. And I think during the midterm elections, they were identified with the administration. Most of them, the Villars, the Tulfos, tsaka iba pa. So ang tanong dito is, ang isang parang mystery dito is, what made them change their mind? Previously, parang sila sa majority with the former Senate President, Chis Escudero.
Yun nga yung tatanungin ko sa'yo sana. Ano sa tingin mo ang naging trigger point? I mean, it seemed to be, I mean, yun nga po, you mentioned the Villars turning over, the Tulfos, we have Pia Cayetano moving over, bukod doon, parang even JV Ejercito has also turned over. And I mean, what could be the sticking point here, the issue, the reason? Is it probably the contractor associated with the former Senate President? The revelations in that gave everyone the reason.
It's possible, it's possible that the probe, ongoing probe about the corruption in the DPWH involving the contractors and some lawmakers might be responsible for the decision of some of the senators. Kasi nga kilala naman natin si Mark Villar used to be the secretary of the DPWH, and it's possible that he could have been involved. Pwede rin siyang imbestigahan. So that's a change camp, so yung mga ganon, it's possible yung probe. I am also looking into the possible involvement of Malacanang. Oo, kasi nga nagde-deteriorate na yung relationship between Malacanang, especially the cabinet members and the lawmakers. So to avert that deterioration of a relationship, it's we're not sure yet pero baka posibleng Malacanang might have a hand on this one.
So ibig sabihin they still hold sway over the leadership in the Senate. Yun po ang pagbasa po ninyo.
Yeah, it's possible. Oo, pwede. Although wala pang wala pang confirmation, wala pang and information about this one.
Is it possible that Malacanang was not happy with the way these hearings have been going? Of course, pag tinignan po ninyo, yung revelasyon kahapon ng mga Diskaya, kung mapapansin po ninyo, nasa 2022 to 2025 yung kanilang isiniwalat. Pero yung years before that, they claim that they started seeing success in 2016. Is it possible that that could be the reason for the unhappiness of Malacanang?
Yeah, pwede rin. That's also possible because remember, you're right in pointing out that I think in the previous hearing or 2 hearings ago, we were able to find out that this had been going on since the time of the former president. Pero in yesterday's hearing, the focus was in the years 2022 up to 2025. And maaaring pwede natin sabihin, kaya dyan ang naging focal point is because the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is headed by an anti-admin senator, a pro-Duterte senator, si Senator Marcoleta. So we might, it's possible to assume, it's valid to assume that the ongoing probe is being used to tarnish the image of the administration.
Speaking of committees, yung magiging bagong head ng Blue Ribbon Committee ay si Senator Ping Lacson. Kukunin niya ito mula kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Paano po kaya sa tingin ninyo magbabago yung pagkumpas dito?
Well, magkaiba kasi sila ng I think magkaiba sila ng approach in terms of holding the committee hearings. Si Senator Marcoleta, ang focus niya at saka yung kanyang yung kanyang approach parang is to highlight the fault ng current administration. I just don't know itong si Senator Lacson once he chairs this committee kung ano kanyang pero definitely he's known for his integrity. He's known for his anti-corruption stand. So I think between the two parang mas kumbaga mas may mas expected na mas maganda yung pagpapatakbo ng hearing ni Senator Lacson. Based on his track record and his on his image.
Anong inaasahan mo ng mga pagbabago? I mean, anong inaabangan mo pala dito sa mga chairmanships? Are you zoning in on some of the committees that would be crucial over how this Senate fares?
Well, there's definitely going to be changes in terms of committee chairmanships. Yan, Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. And then of course, di ko alam kung sino ang ang mag-head ng Appropriations Committee. Pero definitely dito affected 'yan. Pero I think more than the committees, ako mas interesado ako if the current Senate leadership is going to revive the impeachment of the Vice President.
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oo,
Kasi ngayon naka-archive siya sa ngayon.
right,
Oo.
that's right. So, alam naman natin ang stand ni Senate President Tito Soto at the very beginning, nung na-elect siya, he's really bent on pushing for the uh, impeachment trial. So, tingnan natin if that's going to be revived. Ako, tingin ko ma-revive yan under his leadership. And
Okay.
magbabago tingin ko yung decisions ng Senate impeachment court kung matutuloy on specific issues.
Okay. Isa sa mga napansin din ng mga tao, ito finally magkakasama na si Senator Bam, Senator Kiko, Senator Risa Ontiveros dito. What do you expect from this block?
Well, they're part of the majority now, unlike in the under the previous leadership, divided sila, although the people expected them to be part of the minority. Pero si Senator Bam and Senator Kiko, they joined the majority. And I think the obvious reason for that is they would like to see to it that the campaign promises they made would be fulfilled. Pero ito nagkaroon ng realignment, they're part of the majority now, so there's no that has already been resolved. Oo, kung whether or not kaya ba nilang i-deliver yung promises nila during the campaign period, think ko mangyayari na yon nang hindi nagiging hadlang yung yung Senate leadership.
Actually, naisip ko rito kasi kumbaga parang naging practical sila dito sa kanilang pagpili nung kanilang Senate President para makuha nila yung mga gusto nilang komite. And nakuha naman nila. And it raises the question of bakit kaya, walang pagpapasalamat dito sa kanilang pag-assign sa kanilang mga komite. In the same way that it's not just Kiko and Bam but also the other senators. What could have weighed more than that? Being awarded the chairmanships of committees they wanted.
Well, yun na nga I think it's just more than the committees, Kung pino-consider nila, I think it's they may have considered some other factors in realigning, in shifting their allegiance from the previous leadership to the current leadership. Maaring may mas mabigat na dahilan, hindi lang committee chairmanships. Especially if you look into the cases of the Villars, the Tulfos, ako naisip ko baka insofar as the Villars are concerned, baka may kinalaman nga ito doon sa ongoing probe, doon sa corruption involving DPWH, the contractors and the lawmakers. So yun ang nakikita ko doon. Tapos there are some ibang siblings naman, family members, I think nag-hedging sila, Yung isang kapatid nandoon sa si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, he continued to support for the previous Senate President. Samantalang yung sister niya naman lumipat sa kabila. So interesting rin yun, even the Ejercitos, the Estradas, yung isa na si JV nandoon sa bagong leadership, samantalang si Jinggoy naman sa lumang leadership. So I don't know, we still have yet to know the exact reasons why they have to but at the moment ang tingin natin the ongoing probe has something to do with it, and possibly Malacanang might be flexing its muscle already.
Palagay po ninyo, tataas ba ang approval rating ng administrasyon at ng presidente dahil sa flood control probe? Is this going their way? Kahit na pag-usapan po natin kanina na it looks like Malacanang seems to be unhappy with some things. That is your, of course, one of your analyses, no? Tingin nyo, this is helping them, the flood control probe? Because I remember during the time that Senator Chis Escudero was elected as Senate President, usap-usapin din na pagkatapos ng halalan, naging malakas yung Duterte block dahil din sa impluwensyang naipakita nila noong midterm elections. Ngayon, nagbabago na po ba yung ihip ng hangin? Lumalakas na muli itong administrasyon? And is this flood control probe giving everyone sending shivers down people's spines?
Well, we have yet to see the latest survey results from the major survey firms like Pulse Asia, SWS, Okta, and the others. Pero based on the based on the social media reactions posts, it seems that the ongoing probe, which was initiated, actually, the probe was not initiated by the president, but he was the one who called out uh, the discrepancies in the 2025 budget, as well as the yung plight of the common Filipinos during the I think last month or two months ago na floodings. So he was the one who called out DPWH, yung lawmakers di pa niya pero siya yung nagsabi, para siya naging whistleblower dun sa problema sa 2025 budget, tapos yung kawalan ng hindi pagiging effective ng flood control projects, and it was soon discovered na most of which were ghost projects. So I think pag lumabas na siguro yung mga resulta ng mga surveys, baka favorable to the administration, kasi nga mataas yung support based on yung mga social media posts, reactions, napakataas ng suporta ng mga Pilipino doon sa ongoing probe. At saka nadidismaya sila doon sa, so far kasi ang biniblame dito is not Malacanang, kundi yung mga lawmakers, contractors. So Malacanang is spared from mercy. Oo. So I expect that once the survey results are out, the president's survey numbers might go up.
Dennis, anong inaasahan mo naman sa House leadership? Kahapon nga, yung kudeta nangyari. Ngayon, we have the House Infracom probe. Do you expect changes in the leadership? Mukhang may lamat kaya yung presidente, yung Malacanang, at pati na rin si House Speaker, with the way things are going. Usap-usapin din yan online, ano?
Oo, kahapon, after we saw the leadership change in the Senate, yun yung sumunod na tanong are we also going to see a leadership change in the House? Well, so far wala pang ugong-ugong but there are some lawmakers whose names were mentioned in the Senate probe na parang sila na defensive sila, and it's possible that they might ask their own leadership to do something about it. Siguro kapag hindi nakapag-react agad o hindi nakapag-respond agad si Speaker Martin Romualdez doon sa mga nangyari sa Senado, at dumami ang dissatisfied sa kanyang leadership, there might be a possible shake-up. Kaya nga lang, the difference between the Senate and the House is very big. Halimbawa, napakakonti lamang ng mga, there are only 24 senators. So that's why anytime, parang if you're the Senate President, you cannot feel confident. You cannot be complacent. Kasi napaka-fluid ng alignment, realignment dyan sa Senado, given the small number of senators. Pero in the House of Representatives, I think there are 300 plus. So medyo, if you already have more than the majority, parang ang hirap ligawan, mahirap magkaroon ng political realignment. And sa Senado, merong from the very start of the 20th Congress, meron agad challenger na mabigat kay former Senate President Chisa Escudero. Pero dito naman sa House, parang wala namang walang mabigat na challenger sa leadership niya ni House Speaker Romualdez, except of course si Congressman Toby Chanco. I think he was one of those whose names were mentioned as a possible challenger.
Contender. Okay, mukhang aabangan natin yan,
hindi sila ganun ka-level ni Senator Tito Soto.
Well, just like what Congressman Toby Chanco told us this morning, we shall await for the testimonies of those who are about to appear in the House Infracom probe that is coming at 9 in the morning today. So let's see where this will go. Maraming salamat for your analysis and for weighing in with us here on Morning Matters. We have Dr. Dennis Coronacion, Chair of the UST Political Science Department.
Thank you.
As you mentioned, the Infracom probe is beginning at 9 in the morning at the Batasang Pambansa, and we will be covering that all day here on One News. So please do stay tuned. In the meantime, that wraps up today's episode of Morning Matters. We hope we've given you the right start to your morning. Let's go ahead and make the day matter. My name is Gretchen Ho. We are One News, all sides, all the time.